Perfect.
Hi, I'm Vinece Lee, and this is a long time coming. I've been so excited about dreams and had the opportunity and have had the opportunity to work with people with dreams and also my own for almost 30 years now. And I've really been verbally expressing the benefits of dreams and talking about it this whole time, but I decided I wanted to take it to the next level and put it online so that hopefully more and more people are interested or curious and want to explore or are already exploring their dreams. And there's a lot of benefits to doing that. So I just planning to talk with you about a few of the benefits, and these are not the only ones. These are just some of the ones I'm mentioning that to me are important. So the first thing, from all the theories that we have out, there's a theory that we all dream. Now, I don't know how you can possibly prove that, but the point is there are many people who definitely do dream. And I would say I support that theory that we all do it because I believe it's given to us, just like having eyes so that we can see, and then we have an elimination system, and then we have this connection between ourselves and the unknown, and our spirituality, and the darkness and the night. And I believe that dreams are the conduit between us and everything that's yet to be and everything that we're yet to know. So that's, to me, the most important thing to really get, that we have this evolutionary guidance, this evolutionary tool. And I can imagine that how many years, thousands or millions of years ago, there were people in caves and they were afraid at night. Other animals could come in and eat you up, and you wouldn't even know that they were there because they see better than we do, a lot of these creatures at night. And all over the world, there were probably people, various places, who went to bed and had a dream of rubbing two sticks together and then fireproofing up. And then the next morning, next day, there you go, you're experimenting because you had that in your dream and you see fire. And this has probably gone on since the beginning of our existence. And we definitely could use some support now where we are in this evolutionary abyss. It may feel that way because of all the things that are going on in our world today. But we still have access. We still can connect. We still can find the magic. And that's really why I wanted to do this, because it has been such a powerful experience for me since I was a kid. I mean, literally my grandmother, my aunts, they would know, they would say, don't go over there tomorrow because there's going to be an explosion or someone's going to get hurt. And it would definitely happen. So I actually thought this is what happened in everybody's family when you're a child. And it was much later that I found out that's not the case. But it's possible. Any of us can have access to this. So when I first started getting serious about dreams, it was with a group of women in a support group, and I saw how all of the people there who remembered their dreams and talked about their dreams, they were so much more animated. There's something about the energy in the room that changed. And I also noticed over time that they seemed to make a lot more progress in whatever it was that they were working on in their lives. And it reminded me of that time, those times when I was little, and I would be amazed at what my grandmothers and aunts knew. So I want to share with you some very specific things, besides that it's an evolutionary tool, which is the primary issue. There are some other benefits to working with your dreams. So I would say that one of the most important things is that we supposedly, again, this is a theory, are maybe using 5% of our intelligence. And the rest of that is unconscious. Well, dreams help to unveil whatever that is that would help take us to the next level consciously. Every night you can dream, and by looking and paying attention to your dreams and exploring your dreams, we raise our consciousness about whether it's our collective interconnection with each other or how we're treating ourselves. I have lots of examples of this, but basically for now, I just want to leave it at it will take you to new heights in your awareness, and maybe double that 5% or 6%, whatever it is that they're saying these days, is the amount of information that we are consciously aware of. That's definitely a very big, important thing about them. They also can help fulfill longings and help us know longings that, and again, this is about your consciousness too, right? It can help us know that we have a longing to be connected to a particular person, or just, for me, like it could just be that I really have had a long space in between getting to connect with a man in the way that I might really enjoy. And I can have a dream that will help to not only remind me that I would love to have that, but to actually have me enjoy it. I would have this experience, and when I wake up, I can feel really great because I had this magical experience in my dream. It's really wonderful for that. The rewiring that can occur is also really important. So say that I have, which I did, I had a fear, a panic about singing in front of people. And I didn't know that this was generational until I heard a story many, many years later, like I was in my 30s when I heard that there was an ancestral tendency to be afraid about not singing fully or singing perfectly, because there was punishment that would occur if you weren't singing really with the best, highest perfection in your voice. So that's impossible to do, right? So whenever I would get up to sing, and I'm a person that's jumped off cliffs, walked on fire, I've done a lot of crazy things, but when I would try to sing, I would be so afraid and nervous. So to find out that there was a history of having a real terrible trauma behind it helped me to start working through that. So I still might be somewhat afraid, but not so much that I stop myself from doing it. I can keep moving forward with that. So there has been a gradual rewiring within me because I learned that panic had something to do with my past. So those are probably some of the main things that can happen with dreams. But another one that's really, really a big deal is about our creativity. Now, Frankenstein, that was thought of in a dream. Einstein, E = mc squared, that came from a dream, at least in part. I could name many, many people, and Crash, the movie, that came from an idea in a dream. So there are many, many ways in which ideas can grow from what happens in the dream. I spent 6 months working on one song, to develop one song, and then my dreams told me to relax for 3 days, to just have recreational time, which I'd never done back then. I was always nervous that I had to be doing something. But the third night, when I woke up from that third night, I had 3 songs. I had a song with all of the lyrics and the melody, and then I had this other amazing melody, and then I had the lyrics to a song, and I remembered all of it. And so that was the beginning of that. Anytime when I was sleeping that I would have this voice or sound come that was this rich, full experience, I would wake up, record it, and then I would go back to bed. And when I would get up in the morning, there'd be these treasures. I wouldn't even remember sometimes that had happened. And there is a way to do that. And I will do another video about tips to help you to make the best out of the dreams that you're getting. But for right now, again, I want to stick with some of the benefits. So creativity. Some of my clients would come because they wanted to really tap into their ideas. And we're not just talking about dreams at night. It can be daydreams. It can be what could be considered visions. It's the witnessing of other dimensions that we are connected with, where we're giving that focus so that we can gain from it. So one of my clients, she would come and do daydreams, and she'd get all of these ideas for her next jewelry collection. People who were actors, who wanted to work with their characters, they would get insight into the person they were going to be playing. I could give you so many examples of this. I'm just saying that the creative force that comes from this mystery, we still don't understand all of it. Dreams are linked to that. And whatever you're doing or want to do creatively, you would have that opportunity to actually tap into that and harness it. So sometimes with dreams, they're beautiful, filmy pieces of flickering experience. And you might say to yourself, especially if you're sleeping, oh, I'll remember it in the morning. And a lot of times, for some people, you don't. So I'm encouraging you to pay attention that these are gifts, but it's not a permanent message. It's something that is caught and then can be worked with and explored after you have recorded the dream in some way. So those are probably some of the most important things. Now, I know I talked about the psychic thing in terms of my aunt and my grandmother. These abilities we all have, is what I believe. If you're capable of dreaming, then you're capable of having psychic experiments. Not experiments. Yeah, psychic experiments too, but psychic experiences. So sometimes there's something that we're wondering about. You literally, like, this is one of the things that did happen, that one of my clients had some challenge with what was happening with her daughter, and she asked my advice, and it was a really big issue. And so I said, well, how about we do a dream incubation? Pick a few people who you really trust, who are capable of dreams, and let's have a night or two where the focus would be having dreams to support you. And we did that. And I can't tell you how many synchronicities there were with each person who she requested to be a part of that. And it really helped give her insight, helped to take it more seriously, what was happening. And then she took steps to really help what would be most beneficial and healing for her daughter. So I feel so blessed. I really do, how much time I've gotten to be in that world. And I also know how practical it could be. And there are practical things to dreams. Some people have started doing dream work. A woman wanted to deal with the fact that she was no longer having her menstruation, even though she was in her late 20s. And we did some sessions together, and within 2 months, after going without, for I think it was like almost a year and a half without having her menstrual cycle, it started again. So this is not about, oh, I'm so great, or that this is some magic that I would say probably in other time periods, women and people were punished for having this information. I believe we're still dealing with our fears and concerns, and on some level we block out this part of our abilities because we have DNA genetic memory of this being a bad and dangerous thing. Right now, with what's going on the planet, we need as much help and support as we can bring forth. And so I really encourage you to explore what would it be like if you really did have this connection, which you do, to the yet known, and by moving into these dimensions, especially when you're sleeping, because we surrender more deeply when we're not in that conscious beta state, you would be able to know not only things that happened in the future, but also things that have already happened that you weren't aware of. So the blessings are there. It's not just about one person having abilities that seem unusual to you when we're talking about all these things. It's about what would happen if I, even just for a while, imagine that it could be possible that I can go inside internally and connect to all that's possible in the universe. Some of this is absolutely something I had never even thought about. And other things may be things I've had on my mind. But what if it's possible? What if my imagination could help me to imagine that it's possible and just try it? What would happen if I try it? And so I can tell you I've gotten lots of reports back on people, even in the first attempts, just guessing that it's not going to hurt to try, have had these beautiful signs that yes, there's something to it. So I welcome questions, I welcome experiences, I really appreciate you sharing this with anybody that you know who's longing for a change in their lives, even if it's just to be more at peace with themselves. Our resources are off the charts. It's incredible what we're connected with. There is magic, there are miracles within us, and all we have to do is close our eyes and pay attention. Thank you.
Would you like to talk about Harriet Tubman and historically how we know she had these gifts? I don't know. I'm just going to suggest it.
Yeah, she's another person. I feel like it would be a great thing. There's a couple of really good books out, and I will do another of these so that I can give you that information to have access to it. But I did just recently watch a film that was about Harriet Tubman. And I don't know how much you know about her story, but she was a woman who was a slave who actually had narcolepsy, and it ended up a gift that she had that would help her when she looked to escape from the South. She would drop in the middle of wherever she was and fall asleep. And she would have these dreams that would give her information so that she knew what to do and not to do. And she found freedom, personal freedom, when she did that. And she was so confident in the ability that she had now to tap into this that she went back many times and helped hundreds of people find their freedom. Literally something that was supposed to be a problem, that she could fall asleep, where it was out of her control. When she did that, that's when she would link up to this vastness in our universe that would give her personal, specific information that she could use to move through her life, and what her passion and intention was just to help free other people. So this is one example, like I said. Another one is Abraham Lincoln. He had dreams. He knew, he had a feeling, he had a vision that he was about to pass on. And he shared that with his wife and the people who were close to him. So I believe these kinds of dreams can help with specific things you're trying to do. I mean, that with Harriet Tubman was a very practical issue. But there can also be things that help you with your health. For instance, I had this tendency to get really nervous, and I didn't want to take any kind of synthetic medication, but it was so intense, my anxiety that would come up. And I had a dream that said, just a voice I heard that said, Avena Sativa. So I woke up with, what's Avena Sativa? And when I went and looked it up, it is from oats. It is derived from oats. It's the Latin name for oats. And the liquid form that I ended up buying and taking had such a huge shift for me. It really helped me to have much more of a sense of calm, and my nervousness didn't take me away from what it was that I was looking to do or to experience. So there's hundreds, thousands of stories like this. I definitely will look to do another of these and really have more information for you about people who have tapped into this connection that we have that can be used to help practically, spiritually, emotionally open up and keep us growing and expanding and evolving. And we could use a little bit of evolving right now. So tune back in, and I look forward to sharing more of that with you.
Do you have an idea of what you will call your YouTube channel or these YouTube video series if you're going to do several of them?
I have a few ideas. One is Come Sit With Me, which is spelled CIT, and that's for concepts, ideas, and topics. And because I'm coming from a dream perspective, it can be on anything. There's no limitation, any topic. And that is one of the ideas. Also,
Do you, so I'm wondering, do you, you're looking to potentially do women's groups, like, I don't want to know what you want to call them, but, like encounter groups with groups of people where these ideas will be explored. I was thinking, do you want to introduce that? Or not?
oh, absolutely. So one of the pieces that's really close to my heart and that I'm concerned about on the planet is the imbalance that we have. We have a trust in the yang energy. If we're using like Chinese, I believe that the Chinese perspective is really beautiful when it comes to this. We have the yang, which is the light and the masculine, and then we have the yin, which is the dark and the feminine. And we have a lot of energy focused on the masculine, the values that are there in the yang energy, and not as much in the yin energy. And if you're going to bring more of this, the gifts that are there, which again I will look to speak more on that, but in terms of what we're talking about the groups, I want to help women to tune in and trust more in our ability to tap into the yin energy. Not that men don't have it, we both have it. It's just that we as women have been wired to function within the yin energy. It has to do with our intuition, the magic of, for instance, like giving birth to another human being, also our emotional availability so that we help to network and bring things together. And it's less about a hierarchy when it comes to the feminine and more about a circle where everyone is powerful and is tapped in to this source that's greater than our personal self. So I am emphasizing working with women, but I certainly don't want to leave out the men. I've already had experiences of working where it's all women in the group, and then we, the next day, get together with the men, with the guys, together, and it has ended up being fabulous for everybody. And the guys love it. I have found that when women really are tapping, I'm not talking about the feminism that's about equal rights and proving that we're just as good. Those things are important. I'm not saying that they're not important. I'm saying there's so much more to what feminism really is and can be. And I want to help support that, because when women are tapping into the gifts that they have, then they're able to share that with other women and men. And I believe they're keys to what we can do to rewire our collective consciousness. So I will be having groups, which I've done in the past and look forward to doing even more of that, where we have the opportunity in a safe environment to begin to explore this connection that we have to the mystery of life, to the magic of life, to the miracles in life, and to the practical access of information that we need to move forward in our lives. And these groups have, again, stemmed from trusting in what you can't see and what you don't know, blind faith, and being able to draw from that and have these miraculous experiences happen, and also enlightenment. right? So we got the enlightenment, we need some enlightenment too. And I'm looking forward to getting to share that with women, getting quiet, getting still, being able to experience, and then feel the power and experience the magic and see the magic of what happens when we're able to move inside ourselves. Even if we're afraid, the ability to explore and embrace whatever feelings come up and know that beyond those emotions, beyond those thoughts, there is so much more. So, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I think that's great. I think you might want to review what we filmed unless there's something else you want to discuss.
Yeah, good question. So,
We can stop, you can
yeah,
review.
maybe take a 5 minute.
Yeah, let's stop.